Welcome to another edition of Crime Time with DutyRon and Ed Wallace. This is a morning edition. We are two retired New York City police detectives. And guys and girls, if you like all things true crime related from that police detective's perspective, please consider hitting the subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you'll get all things DutyRon and this guy. He's eating breakfast, Ed Wallace, before we go live or upload another video. This morning, before we get into it, Ed, we got a lot to talk about. This is a doozy again. Developments in this Kiely Rodni case. Still no answers on cause and manner of death. No response from the Nevada Sheriff's Office, Nevada County Sheriff's Office. We heard Sheriff Moon tell us we'll get an answer in November. I think it's time for them to start at least giving some updates in regards to these new developments. Ed, how you doing this morning, and where are you? Are you in the state of New York, or are you outside the state, or are you in the country? That's what we want to know.
I'm in the country.
Excellent. So let's give thanks and praise to our Patreon supporters, the channel members, and all the folks who positively engage here. You guys are what makes this a great community, and I know a lot of you were waiting for Ed and I's response to this newfound video. It comes from a alertcalifornia.live camera. These were fixed cameras that are there to monitor fire. Ed and I have talked a great deal about this during the course of the day yesterday and into last night. Matter of fact, Ed and I talked right before I went to bed last night, and I was like, hey, you want to go live tonight? He's like, no, it's 10:30. What are you, crazy? We got to go to bed. But yeah, so people are losing sleep over this thing. Ed, what's your thoughts on this newly found camera footage?
Well, it puts to bed a lot of the conspiracy theories and controversies about when the vehicle and her body went into the water. It's done. It's over. It's definitive that it went in right after the last ping on that cell phone at the location where it was found. And there's some big takeaways from this that we now know exactly when it happened. It's captured on video.
Yeah.
Albeit that the video can be enhanced hopefully by the FBI because it's it's shot from a distance and has some zoom capabilities, but it was at night and you can see the headlights and so forth, but it can be cleared up and then overlaid on a day map, a daylight lit map, and or aerial shot, and then you can see the exact path that was driven and the actual entry into the lake. Then we also see that there's a timer attached to it, and it appears that the vehicle, after entering the lake, submerged in a little over a minute, and it disappeared under the water. The lights were on, the headlights were on, and that's what allowed the vehicle to be captured in its movements towards the lake. So what we also know now is that the roadside assistance gentleman was inaccurate in what he said. He was wrong. There wasn't Kiely, and so we know that as well, which was a big controversy. People were saying she was live. People were saying, no, the vehicle was put in after the search. And what we also know is at the time that Avengers with Purpose went into the water, law enforcement was not made aware of these cameras' existence and the capture of this information.
Yeah, and that's a lot of information to take in. That's an awful lot of data that was unknown up until that point. And the shame of all this, Ed, and I could say this, and you and I both agree on this, is you're talking about almost 2 months to the day it takes YouTube internet detectives to go and find footage that's readily available, because they have a problem in California and over a lot of mountainous areas where fires happen in their dry season, right? So they put up these cameras. One would think that an on-point detective, and we heard, I want to play a press conference from August 13th from the Nevada County, Placer County Sheriff's Department. We heard that the female public information officer, she was updating on the thousands of hours of investigation. And you'd think that a smart crack detective would be like, hey, wait a minute, shit, we have these fire cameras that are going 24/7, to save our the mountains, to fire, the forest, to save the trees, to save fires, or to get quick notification of them. Why do you think somebody from those 20,000 man hours didn't catch on to this, Ed?
I just believe they didn't know that those cameras existed. They didn't have knowledge of it.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, why else? Why else would that be? I mean, what's the other plausible explanation for it?
But what about the fire rangers that look at this stuff? There's I think, and listen, thank you for Rhino Girl. Thank you for the 250. Ed, what is that? What is that AED? You're a world traveler.
Is she
Dubai.
Rhino Girl? Are you? Yeah, okay. You're United Arab Emirates.
There
Okay,
you go.
well then we say shukram for your money there. Your 250 AED.
Yes, thank you. And really, so everybody's being thrown at this thing. The kitchen sink's getting thrown at this thing. And let's be real about this. I mean, it's obvious that they didn't jump on it, because they told Adventures with Purpose when they arrived on the set. I think they came on Friday, August 19th. They started searching the 20th, and then on 21st, they found Kiely Rodni in August. Now we're fast forwarding. Her last cell phone ping was 12:33 approx. Don't hold me to this. 12:37, 12:33 a.m. the morning of the 6th, Saturday the 6th, right, of August. That's the last known ping location, right at the location where we see on video this car going into the water, and in approximately 2 minutes or so, the headlights disappear, and it completely submerges underwater. 2 months to the day, somebody on YouTube, I don't care who it was, whether it was this guy Gray Hughes, whether it was SF Investigates, whoever it was, they found it, and the police didn't, with 20,000 hours of investigating. It just doesn't smell right to me. I could be jumping the gun here, Ed, but really, it just freaks me out that nobody came up with this.
Well, I mean, again, if you're not in fire emergency management, or that, if you're not a part of that team that have meetings about forest fires and all of this stuff, how would you know those cameras are out there if you're not interacting with the Forest Service, or have some, you would think if you were emergency management, you might have a member of your agency that would have this information or know that these cameras exist out there. But apparently it was overlooked, and they didn't. And then even the Forest Service, how come, they didn't, they know where their cameras are. They know what their capabilities are. And how come they didn't look, I mean, this was a high profile case. It was in the media. So why didn't they look at their footage on these cameras that overlooked the lake? And there probably are additional cameras that we don't know of that still have additional views. Because forest fires out in California is a big deal. They're taking, the state of California is taking a big hit in the media about they're not managing these forests properly, and that's why we have all of these horrific firefighters out there. I mean, fires rather out there.
Yeah, Ed, you want to take that question on the screen?
Question: is the footage vetted, or is this a copy that has been going around? It would be great if it were definitive, and I can't get into the archival site. Well, I don't. Yes, it has been vetted, because we DutyRon spoke to a detective out there, and they have the video.
Yeah, I'm going to come on screen right now because I was doing a little bit of research, and let me come back in. Okay, thank you, Carolyn Page, for that super chat. Sends in that $8 and that question. I'm going to go full screen with this, and just so you guys could know. All right, so I don't do this often, but I did do it yesterday. It got me. I was, and I get hopped up over these things because because of exactly what I said. All right. So I don't make it a point to call investigating authorities, but I looked up the California Highway Patrol Truckee division, Truckee station. It's available on Google. You could research it. You could look at it. I went on California Highway Patrol's website and I called the California Highway Patrol. I identified myself as a retired New York City police detective, and I got a guy on the phone. I got a detective on the phone. He was very friendly to me. It was, kind of, law enforcement, professional courtesy, so to speak. And I didn't ask him questions about the investigation, but I asked him outright, do you guys know about this footage from the Alert California Live cam? It's coming from the Alder Hill camera view. And he right away said, yes, we're aware of it. We received numerous calls. He said the FBI has it and has enhanced it. And that might be the reason why they took the search button away for people to get a hold of this thing and spread it around. The FBI now has it. The Federal Bureau of Investigation has it, and they are enhancing it according to them. And that was good enough for me. I have the guy's name. He has mine. I told him about, my, experience in the New York City Police Department, and I told him what I do, what Ed and I do, and he was very kind to give out that information to me. He confirmed that is there. I didn't say to him, why the hell didn't you guys know about this come August 7th? Why wasn't someone looking at that the very next day? I didn't say that to him, but Ed, that's what I did, and I don't think that was overstepping bounds because I didn't ask questions about the investigation. I just said, are you guys aware of this? Because there's people on YouTube putting this video out there. And, again, that was a good question. How do we know it's authentic? How do we know that that's authentic? I don't think anybody in their right frame of mind, unless somebody has a mental defect, is going to go and recreate something like this. This is a serious matter. You're talking about a 16-year-old girl who either by accident or by nefarious means made her way into Prosser Lake and was discovered by Adventures with Purpose. And
I tell you what,
Mister.
Yeah, well, another thing that you're very lucky that this video wasn't overwritten on. Okay, given the time frame,
right?
Because if nothing is happening on that storage of that video, eventually it's going to get overwritten because why would you save all that information for if you're looking for forest fires and nothing occurred during that time frame?
Yeah,
right. It's just eating up storage capabilities. So eventually it would be overwritten. But thank God they got to it and found it.
I still can't wrap my head around the fact that these investigators, and I get what you were saying, that they might not know and they might not have the technology, but there's nobody in that region, in that area in Truckee. There is nobody that didn't hear about this thing. It was being reported so extensively. You can't tell me that some fire rescue and the people who do these jobs, the people who work in those areas, the fire rangers, the freaking, I don't even know what their titles are called, but these guys and gals that work in that area, there's no way that they didn't know about this. I can't believe that nobody said, wait a minute. What about this Calitopia, whatever they call it, the Alert California.live? What about the Alder Hill cam? It looks right at that freaking lake, man.
Well, these cameras are owned by a federal agency. Okay, so that federal agency is the Forestry Service, right?
But the FBI is involved.
Yeah, but I'm saying that those cameras are owned by the Forestry Service, and so how come who's monitoring them? If they're there to watch for fires, all right, somebody should be putting an eyeball on these videos every so often, right? I guess if there's no fire, they don't look at it. Yeah. I mean, but that's crazy.
That's sick. Sick.
Somebody should be looking at it every so often, especially before something gets overwritten. And you would think if the Forest Service who placed the camera there, knew that it captured that lake, they would have notified law enforcement. Hey, you know, we're going to check our videos because it looks over onto that lake from this vantage point. You know, it just doesn't make sense to me that somebody in that service didn't say, hey, let's go look at these cameras and let's talk to law enforcement.
Yeah, it's blowing my mind. And by the way, I'm wearing Joe Murray's merch. Let me go full screen so everybody could see this, Ed. I thought it was appropriate for this. Allegedly guilty, right? So this is a shirt. I got a coffee mug back there. Angela, Ange, and Joe were kind enough to give me a bunch of their merch, and I have some stuff for you here too, Ed. By the way.
Oh, thank you, Joe. Thank you, Angela.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what it doesn't tell us though is whether or not there's still any foul play here.
Right.
Okay. What it does also show is that there was no other vehicles following her. There was nothing around at the time that she entered the water.
Right.
So it was not as if, okay, somebody was following the vehicle or chasing her or anything like that.
Yeah.
Or, you know, following the vehicle and then, splash in the water and then somebody got out, that vehicle stopped and then picked up somebody and drove off. So we don't see any of that.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot more to this, but this is good. This is a good find. Whoever found this, I tip my cap to him. Kudos. And there could be the argument of who found it. It doesn't matter. For me, it's 2 months later. It's 2 months too short to find it, right? But the onus is on freaking law enforcement. Let's say thank you to ATS News. Amber, thank you for becoming a channel member. She has her own YouTube channel. I encourage people to go over for, a different perspective, her point of view. She covers a lot of stuff. She talks about things that we do. She talks about stuff that other folks do, and she goes over these cases pretty well. So Amber, thank you for becoming a channel member. There she is, ATS News. If one of the mods can put her link in the chat, I greatly appreciate that. And Fiberfloozy's Craft was here earlier. Jill, I missed acknowledging her because we were in the middle of something. Sometimes folks just don't get insulted by if Ed and I don't acknowledge you right away, but we're trying to get our thoughts out in this short 1 hour time frame that we have here. I have a short presser from August 13th. And the reason I want to play this is because they talk about their partnership with the federal government, with the FBI. They talk about the thousands of man hours. We're going to hear the public information officer, Angela Muslan. She's going to talk quickly. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but this is Placer County, Nevada's. Nevada County's here, and I think California Highway Patrol is there too. So they're all working together on this thing, and it's just amazing. This thing just blows my mind. And now I'm going to show you some footage of we're going to show you some footage of the video. I'm not going to play the whole video because you guys have seen it hundreds of times. But Ed, you reviewed that, right? You reviewed the video. You saw multiple
times.
Yeah, multiple lights going down towards there. There's even one vehicle that looks like it comes along the shoreline of Prosser Lake, almost like watching this car go into the water and then take off and then leave. There's a lot.
I didn't see that.
I mean, I did. It was just
you saw a car come and watch.
Well, it looked like it was not on the path of what when we saw all the cars going down the path, and it looked like they were all veering off one way. There was one set of lights, and I'm not 100% sure if that was a car on the beach, if it was a random vehicle. It wasn't right there. It was way, it was back a little bit. But yeah, there's a lot to it.
Well, that was I saw a car before hers.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, okay.
So people do drive on that beach, the beach or whatever that, cars drive up on there. Anyways, let me just show this presser and let's listen in. This is August 13th, and I put the date on there. It's superimposed on their video. You can go over to Placer County Sheriff's YouTube page, and then they had two more before Kiely Rodni's vehicle was found by Adventures with Purpose. And then the last video that they have uploaded in regards to this case is them saying, they found her. All right, so let's let this play.
Good afternoon. I'm Angela Musalam, Public Information Officer with the Placer County Sheriff's Office. I'm joined by our local, state, and federal agencies today as we continue search day 7 for Kiely Rodni.
Day
To
7.
date, we've dedicated over 9,000 man-hours for the search for Kiely. We've ramped up our search for the weekend. Today, we have over 200 search and rescuers, including searchers by air and searchers in the water. Our detectives and FBI agents continue to sort through and comb through over 1,000 leads that we've received up until today from the beginning of this search. Yesterday, there was a potential burial site that was located near the campground. It was located by a search and rescue ground team. Kiely's family was notified of the potential development. The FBI responded to secure the scene yesterday and was accompanied by the Placer and Nevada County Sheriff's offices.
So the reason I'm playing this is what you just heard her say there. She said the FBI responded to the scene. So we know the federal government, the FBI, the feds, and fire services, more than likely local, state, and federal fire services monitor those cameras, right? And for me, there's no excuse for them not to have known this. If there was a crack, it didn't even take a detective within Placer County or Nevada County or even the FBI. All it would have taken is somebody who's tightened up, who is a sharp tack that is in the fire service. And I'm not blaming the fire service, but I'm just saying whoever, and as Ed said, whoever's responsible to monitor, you don't just have those cameras there just to have them and be like, oh, look at this is pretty. This is a nice view. It's not like, we're looking at a resort in Tahiti on their resort cams. This is for a specific reason. So let's let this play just a little bit more.
FBI agents investigated the site through early this morning and recovered the remains of a dog. Let me be clear. We have one team, one mission, and one goal, and that is to find 16-year-old Kiely Rodni.
But you didn't.
We will not be holding a community meeting tonight. There's a concert, we understand, to support Kiely's family happening at the Truckee Regional Park from 1 to 4 p.m. We'd like to remind everybody we have set up multiple ways for people to anonymously contact the sheriff's office regarding tips. Some of those options are available here to my left. We have an online portal. We also have a tip line that you can call by phone. We also have a link tree that we set up for people who would like to submit any photos and any videos from that evening of the park.
Yeah, the ping for the data points and everything were near the water. It's hard to tell an exact pinpoint or anything like that, but just as much on land as it was on water.
Okay, here's a reporter asking about the ping, and this is what makes this really important here. This is August 13th, okay, day 7, and a reporter that's in that room asks about the cell phone ping and the location of it. It's hard to hear it, but listen up with your headphones and you'll hear it.
Where is Kiely? Where is her vehicle? We just want to find Kiely. Thank you.
Here, first question.
Angela, can you or the officers behind you confirm that her phone, Kiely's phone, the last ping was near the water?
Okay, she said, Angela, can you or the officers behind you confirm that Kiely's last phone ping was near or in the water? And she turns to the captain.
Yeah, the ping for the data points and everything were near the water. It's hard to tell an exact pinpoint or anything like that, but just as much on land as it was on water.
That's what I was told, is that it was near the water and searches took place near that vicinity. Are those going to continue?
Yeah, today we have 226 searchers, pretty astronomical number. I think the overhead team at the search and rescue, they deployed out all 226 members within about an hour, And so that's a pretty big feat on its own. They've extensively been planning and prepping overnight so that when people get here.
Okay, so let me just say this here. Let me stop it here. He just said he had 226 personnel. It's alleged, and it was reported by news agencies that on Saturday, on Saturday, August 12th, and Sunday, August 13th, and that's this day here, the August 13th. This is Sunday. It was said that a search and rescue from outside, and it was Washburn or something with the W County, the divers went into Prosser Lake and searched and cleared it. And then a week later, Adventures with Purpose came on Friday, and they started searching at Boca, I believe, on Saturday, the 20th, and then on the 21st on Sunday, that's when they found Kiely. So just a weekend later, just one weekend fast forward, her vehicle and the body was recovered. So he's talking about the personnel that were there on Saturday and now Sunday.
We're ready to roll. The area has been walked, driven, flown, grid searched. They're getting into tighter grid searching to, at this point we're looking for small and anything evidence-wise, as opposed to cars, people, things of that nature, even phones. We're trying to make it even tighter. We had swimmers we announced the other day that actually did surface swimming, so we don't want to disturb the water even underneath, because that can cause its own problems. And divers have been deployed at this point as well
There you go.
to assist in the search, and it's been pretty thorough overall. Yeah, we continue to look for that item as well. Just because it was last pinged there, that doesn't mean that that's where the phone stopped being. There's lots of reasons of why those notifications or data points could be lost.
Could you tell us what body of water and what time that last ping was?
What body of water and where was that last ping? Very good questions by the reporter. Ed, do you agree?
Yes, and just to just to go over what he just said, and one of those reasons it stopped pinging is because it was with her in the car when it was submerged.
Thank you.
The Prosser Lake is where we're focused on right now.
Let me roll that back.
Those notifications or data points.
Listen to what the reporter says.
Could you tell us what body of water and what time that last ping was?
The Prosser Lake is where we're focused on right now. But again, that doesn't mean that that's the last location. So.
Yeah, he doesn't give the time of the last ping.
They're going to ask it.
No, she did.
No, but they're going to ask it again.
I think the last location known that we've put out, from I think day one is around 12:30.
There you go.
In the morning.
He gives it right there, Ed.
Yep.
12:30. It was in fact 12:33. It's stuck in my head, and I know if I'm wrong, someone's going to correct me on it. It's on alert.ca. I have it written alertca.live, and I'll show it to you. It's the Alder Hill cameras, but now the search button is gone. Ed, what? I mean, I hate to be all over the place. I want to continue with this press conference just for a minute. Why did they take that off, Ed?
Because it was getting too much traffic from, after it posted on YouTube, it was getting too much traffic, and they probably said, "Oh, we're shutting this down."
Were they worried about losing the footage, or because people are like, "Oh, this means it's more of a cover up that they took down the cameras. They're covering up more." Like, I'm monitoring what people are talking about.
It's potential evidence, and so they want to control access to it. Now, it's out there. It's on YouTube, and people are also have the capabilities with software and everything to do some of the manipulations that were seen on some of the videos that I saw.
Yeah.
So that again, if this turns out to be a criminal investigation, we don't know what it is. The autopsy is done, and we don't know the results, and
Right.
And she was cremated, and so forth. So, the next press conference is scheduled.
November 1st.
November 1st. Yeah.
Yeah, Ed, I want to ask you about. We'll get into it after we finish this, and we're almost done with this. About the cremation and about the possibilities there. We talked about this in previous cases, like Cassie Carley. She was cremated. Christine Engelhardt. A couple of other cases where people were like, "Well, why would we're going to get into it. Ed and I are going to talk about that. But let's let the rest of this play.
I know I was out by Prosser and there was a dive team from Alameda.
Alameda. Okay, so I had it completely wrong. She's
Yeah,
talking
Alameda
about the-
County.
Last
Yeah.
location known that we put out, from I think day one is around 12:30 in the morning.
There was, this morning I was out by Prosser and there was a dive team from Alameda. But just a few feet to the side, there were people recreating along by a canoe.
So she said there was a dive team there from Alameda. There was people swimming. So let's hear what he has to say about that.
Are you not afraid about them disturbing any possible? Just a few feet to the side, there were people recreating along by a canoe. Are you not afraid about them disturbing any possible?
Are you not afraid about them disturbing possible evidence?
Yeah, you balance this, shut everybody out, and we don't have evidence to say that there's something that we're going to locate. Are you better off having more eyes in the area or not? There's times where we have shut down areas. We closed off the boat ramp at one point in time to cover like certain area and ground and things like that. So there's always a concern, but we also don't have like a, hey, this is the area. And so at what point do you cut off the entire Forest Service and things of that nature? So I think we've been reasonable with the areas and times we've had to put in stop gaps to prevent people from moving around, but we do that based off of information. More people around gives us information, but they've been recreating throughout that lake since long before, and so it is tough. A diving operation like that is really almost like you're going into the water blind, and they're basically searching with hands, because once you start maneuvering the ground, it's like going through mud. So these are tough operations, and there is no right answer for everything, but that's always a concern. Everything is.
Yeah, come dive in New York Harbor, pal.
Yeah.
The deepest point for Prosser that I was told was 57 feet.
So they have this data. I mean, I was going to say EquiSearch. Adventures with Purpose, it said it was approximately 55 feet total when it was the deepest, but where they found her was 14 feet.
Yeah. I think that about 50 feet out, right, from the shore.
Right, 55 feet out or 50. But I guess obviously as you go out further, it gets deeper. But
Wow.
she just asked what the total depth at its highest. Well, maybe there was the talk about the water going up and down. But this press conference is telling, because it was the week before she was discovered, and then Adventures with Purpose comes in and is told, and I'm going to put us back on, Ed. They were told by them that you don't need to search Prosser Lake. We covered it. It's clear. You don't need to search here. This is what's helping to stir up so many people thinking that there's a cover up. Look at this stuff in the chat. Kaz says cover up 100%. People in the UK are even chiming in on this thing, because on the surface, Ed, it looks dirty. It doesn't look right. And I hate to even use that terminology or this conversation, but people are just, this is one misstep after another. And now 2 months to the day later, guys and girls on the internet are discovering these cameras.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to go that far just yet, but
No.
no matter how you look at it, it doesn't look good at all for this jurisdiction.
It's dirty. It looks dirty for me. It just looks like. Anyways, Kiely Rodni update. Cause of death still a mystery as teen is cremated by family. This is October 6th. This article is in one of the local fingerlakes.com. So this was just published. The teen went missing. Let's just see where it says it here. The missing teen's was cremated by her family privately. According to this, okay, now they're quoting the Sun. Rodney was cremated by the family. They were able to say that their goodbyes privately before a memorial held earlier in September. And we all saw that memorial and things of that nature. But Ed, how much does this come into play when you're talking about autopsy results? We know Barbara says that they get the fluids from the eyes. They get as much. In her case, she's in the water 2 weeks or more, right? Longer than that, right? Well, yeah, a little bit over 2 weeks. What what are they getting at the autopsy? Are they taking enough to have evidence to see if she was in fact under the influence of drugs and alcohol and so forth? Is it prudent to cremate, or would you say it's better to not have her cremated, Ed?
Well, cremation stops any attempts at a second autopsy. So that's it. It's over after that. So you're left with what you have. In terms of the vitreous fluids in the eyes, this lake has wildlife in it. Okay. Sad to say, I don't want to sound morbid or anything, but the fish tend to eat in those areas.
Yeah.
And I've seen it. So, hopefully, they had the ability to, it wasn't damaged too badly, but, like I said, she's in the water for just a little over 14 days.
Yeah.
So it's definitely going to be damage from the wildlife.
If this was your kid, would you want him cremated or you want him held?
Well, I would, pending toxicology. They know the results of the autopsy.
Right.
I'm sure the family does. So I think they're satisfied with the results, and they did what they did. If I was concerned that I wasn't getting proper criminal investigative services for my child, I would probably hold off and get a second autopsy done.
Right. But in this article, it says the family has confidence in law enforcement. So the family feels confident that law enforcement is handling, and this is an article that was put out just yesterday. Now, that doesn't mean that this is Bible. This was October 6th, at 12:36 p.m. by Samantha Parrish of the fingerlakes.com. I don't know if this is local news. Looks like it's a local local paper. Fiber Floozy Jill, thank you for the super chat. She sends in a message. Is it possible there was too many chiefs on this one? Too many incompetent chiefs on this one is what I would edit that to say.
Well, they shouldn't be, because we have two systems of management for things like this. It's called Unified Command or Incident Command. Incident Command has one commander, the overall commander for the incident, and that should be the jurisdiction of concern here, or the jurisdiction in charge, which would be the sheriff's office. So there should be one commander. I mean, so you're seeking mutual aid agreements, which they did, and so like groups like Alameda County Sheriff's Office divers came, and so they get integrated into the incident command system, and they are under control of that jurisdiction, not their own leadership.
Right.
So there should be one commander here for this scene. I don't know that was the case, or if they even set up incident command, but it should have been.
Yep.
And so, but that is a common problem when you have too many chiefs, not enough Indians.
Yeah, exactly. And Dr. Ed and Just Julie sends in a super chat, $20. Thank you for all you both do for victims and families and helping us learn. Well, thank you, Doc, for everything that you do, and thank you, Julie, for the love and support that you both do, daily for your community and for the family. You guys are our DutyRon family doctors now. So,
yes.
Family doctor, yes.
We hope you enjoyed or had a blessed Yom Kippur.
Yes. And we still have more holidays within the Jewish faith coming up. I know Monday and Tuesday I'm off. Sukkah, yep.
Yeah.
And that's a 10-day event. And then next Monday and Tuesday as well. So we're October is a very holy month for the Jewish faith. Who else? We got another super chat. It's from Ether Bunny. It says Adventures with Purpose has said that their ability to see a car on sonar increases each time they use it. Sounds like they didn't use sonar. Only divers manually looking law enforcement entities don't talk to each other. And that's not true according to their statement, Ether Bunny. They said in the next press conference, and I'm not going to play that. I don't want to take up a lot of time here, but in the next presser, after Adventures with Purpose recovered Kiely Rodni, they said they used side scanning sonar and so forth, right, Ed? I mean, we've gone over this.
Well, law enforcement said that, right?
Yeah.
But But AWP didn't use side scanning sonar, but they used their equipment. And yes, the more you use your equipment, the better you become at it.
No. AWP definitely used side scanning sonar. That's what they said. And she's saying here, it sounds like it says adventures with purpose. They said that their ability to see a car on sonar increases each time they use it. It sounds like they didn't use sonar, only divers manually looking for it. That she's talking about law enforcement there. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ether Bunny, but we know that that Adventures with Purpose used side scanning sonar. Doug talked about it on our channel.
I don't think it was side scanning sonar. He used a
Garmin side
Garmin.
scanning sonar
No, it's
technology.
not. It's not side scanning. That's
Okay.
a different system. He used a Garmin rather, but it's not side scanning. That's a different system. The law enforcement said they used it. Okay, in their press conference.
Okay.
No, because I have a Garmin. I have two Garmins actually, so very similar to what he was using. It's definitely not side scanning.
Yes.
Okay, that's a different operation.
All right, but no matter how you slice it, they missed it. Jakey5, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for your honesty, even if it goes against the grain of practice. Hey, listen, Ed, you said it well one time. We call the balls and strikes here, and this is a strike. This is a strike, and it's a shame that 2 months, almost to the day, somebody on the internet had to figure out or find or stumble across these cameras. It's a shame that we couldn't have found that ourselves and reported it to police 2 days later. But that's not how the cookie crumbled here, and I tip my cap to the ladies and gents or whoever is responsible for finding this footage and getting it out there, because it's better to find it than to never have found it. Jeep Girl, thank you for the $20 super chat. She says, I know if this happened to someone in my family, I would want you two to keep pursuing it. Absolutely. And we talk about the internet sleuths, right?
Mm-hmm.
We talk about how important these internet sleuths are, and sometimes it could be it could help, and sometimes it could be to a disadvantage, depending on how it goes. But the bottom line here is, this is just an additional sock in the eye for the investigating authorities here on this case, because shame, and I'm going to say this, and Ed might not agree with me, shame on them for somebody not finding it. If you have 20,000 man hours, multiple different agencies, everybody in their mother knows about Kiely Rodni missing in that area. And it's international story. It's a nationwide international story. Shame on them for not knowing that those fire cams were there, and that not one person in 13 or 14 days said to themselves, or in 2 months, holy shit, we have this here. Let's go look at this camera. It took some internet detective to figure it out. And that's the up part about it.
Yeah. Definitely. Just to clarify, folks, I'm not saying that AWP doesn't have side scanning sonar. What I remember from the interview is I don't recall him saying that he utilized it here. He could have I believe he utilized another sonar system that he had, but I could be wrong. But like I said,
I could have sworn that he said it with us, with our diver, with the harbor guy. I'm trying to pull that up right now.
Yeah. But I do know that in the press conference, they said they used side scanning sonar, and they used a submersible.
Yeah.
Right? They put an underwater drone down, and they didn't find it.
It's just unbelievable. Let's get on to, now that we're talking about Adventures with Purpose, let's get on to the fact of Nick, the AAA roadside assistance dude, right? He came on with Adventures with Purpose, and told his story about seeing somebody who he thought was, he didn't say Kiely Rodni, but what's the thoughts on that there, Ed?
Okay, so here's my thoughts. All right, he is wrong. Okay, now the law enforcement should have been able to verify all the information, because when you roll on something like that and you get out there, there's paperwork that has to be done before and after your response. So before your response, when you make a call like that, you have to give information about where you are and your vehicle information and who you are. So that's got to be documented someplace, right?
Right.
And when you get there, again, there's paperwork that has to be filled out, and there's your documentation of the VIN, the vehicle's make and model, the license plate, and the name of the registered owner. All of that goes down typically on a roadside assistance call. And so this person's account of what happened should have been able to be validated or eliminated based upon that information. And as it appears now, that information was wrong. And law enforcement should have known that, obviously, faster than this video coming out showing the actual accident. That should have been taken into consideration really quick and then vetted, and it washed out in the investigation that it wasn't true. Plus, if he said, I mean, there was a lot of talk about him having a dash cam of the encounter.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And so the dash cam would have also definitively shown that it was not, in fact, her.
Right. Right. So this kind of dispels his account and possibly leaning towards that Kiely Rodni on Saturday was still alive at 12 noon or 11 or whatever the time. Remember, he didn't know the time or the day. This should disprove that. And you know, again, like you said, with further investigation, with competent investigators, they should have been able to figure out. And I use that word competent. But here's the video that we did with Doug.
Before we go on, 1 second, I just want to touch on one more thing about that autopsy. You know, we spoke about how the elected sheriff here is also the elected coroner, and how that was a huge conflict of interest. And so, if I was of the impression, you know, this is my loved one, and I was of the impression that, you know, the way the investigation was progressing, and I was not happy with it, and I was concerned as to where this was going, and this was my loved one, I would have hired a forensic pathologist to do a second autopsy.
Yeah. No, 100%. I agree wholeheartedly with that. Here it is. I'm not sure where he talks about this, but this is where I start questioning him on about seeing the car and seeing what he's using. So let's listen
Or
to
anything like that. Did you note if this was a key start engine or just a push start with the fob?
Yeah, we did in doing a lot of these all over.
I mean, Doug and Nick, you know, any of you guys, Jared, in my conversations with him, that's the furthest thing that we are interested in. But I want to full circle back before I forget, because I'm kind of old. The wheels. I got to show this now.
Yeah.
Let's get a little bit into this. Where is anybody seeing wheels?
Okay, so stop it right there. So what you're seeing right there, that's a Garmin live scope technology.
Okay, live scope.
It's hard mounted to a boat. But because we understand how to manipulate it, I have it on a sort of a swivel stick so that I can take it and shine it like a flashlight per se. See my hand there on it? I'm moving it to get different angles. So if you see the bottom there, if you look at the charts, right around 11 feet, and then you have the object in the middle of your screen.
So Ed, what's the difference between a live scope and side scanning sonar?
Now, typically, like a live scope is mounted to the hull of the boat in a fixed position. Like I have them mounted on my boats, so that, you know, that I'm out there and I'm looking for fish. Okay. And not necessarily looking to scan the bottom of the boat. And typically with a side scanning sonar, there's several types, but they're typically towed along the back of the boat and scanning everything that's underneath them. There are some that are hard mounted to the side of the hull, and so they give you a different viewpoint. Now his is on a stick, which is something they developed, I believe, and so he's able to manipulate it at different angles,
Right. So it's
right.
customized. All right, cool.
Right.
Listen, I just, I hate to misspeak on things, and I do that from time to time. And
No,
I
but
always
it's very easy with all this information that's flying around,
Right.
because especially in the presser, they said they use side scanning sonar.
Right.
Okay.
Let's talk about vehicle direction, Ed. There's a channel called Investigates Current Events, and you put me onto this, where the guy depicts how the car is turned.
Today we're
Hold
gonna
on,
look at the
hold
Orient.
on. I'm going to just pause this. But this is a guy who kind of shows that the car went in straight in, and then was turned, wound up on its roof, as we saw it, as the recovery showed. And then he showed them, because the news was over it for over 2 hours as they were doing it, and he showed it actually being tilted up like this.
It's kind of tilted on one of the side. Yes.
Yeah, and then it went right. You watch this because you put me onto this, Ed. Do you think this is worth playing? It's a short little clip.
Yeah, sure, run it.
All right, so I'm going to link this guy's channel down in the description. He's got a YouTube channel, but he doesn't do many videos. He's only did like 3 or 4 videos.
Well, before you run this, when you look at the video that was captured from the fire service cameras, you can see her headlights as she's approaching the lake. You could see them go across the lake and hit the shoreline on the opposite side. Okay.
Right.
And then you can see the angles that those headlights were rotating. It's actually rotating from left to right. And then when she goes in the water, you can then kind of see a slight rotation and then going down.
Yeah.
And that's when you lose the headlights.
Right. And everybody has seen this. This is available. You can go over to numerous YouTube channels who have played it. Well, I mean, again, I'm not going to play it here because it's not my content. I'm not going to play somebody else's stuff like that. But we looked at it. You guys can go look at it. You know where it is, and everybody can go check it out. And Ed, of course, there's going to be naysayers. People said that. There's people in this chat right now saying that was edited, not real footage, and that somebody put that together and you could see it. Yes, the person, Gray Hughes, said that he enhanced it with daytime light, so you could see better, and he did that for the advantage of the viewers. So kudos to him for doing that. Some people have the technology to do this, but I don't think in any way, shape, or form that he doctored the video to make it seem like he's the hero and that he figured out that Kiely Rodni's car went in the water. He was making it more, and correct me if I'm wrong, Ed, but he was making it more so you could see it instead
so you can understand it.
Right, you can understand the direction, and that was a good thing. So,
but the fact is that you confirmed the law enforcement has it and the FBI has it, and they enhanced it, and now. They have it in their investigation. Yeah,
his words. And the FBI is enhancing it right as we speak. So,
Anthony, thank you for your super sticker.
Thank you. Another one came in from Brent Montgomery and Pugs. Ron, Ed, Rose 11, all my love.
Thank you.
Great job. Thank you. There was one other one that we missed. Oh, Pugs. Okay, that was it. And then Brent. Let's say hello to the chat, because these guys have been really cool in the chat. Everyone's back and forth. Just by a show of hands, who feels that the video from this California, the Alder Hill Alert California live camera footage is real? Put a 1. If you feel it's not real and it's been doctored up, put a 2. I just want to get an idea of how many people. 1, if you feel it's authentic. 2, if you don't think it's authentic. Go ahead, put it in the chat. Don't worry, you're not going to get attacked for your opinions here. I see a lot of number 1s coming up quickly. Rose B, follow the green in your wood. A lot of 1s. There's a number 2. There's a number 2 from Don. The 1s are outweighing the 2s. I should do a poll on this. A couple of number 2s, a bunch of number 1s. So let's look at this overhead footage and listen to what this guy says. This is about the direction, because this is still a sticking point. People feel like somebody backed this car in and there was a pause, and there's so many theories on this. And then, Ed, only if you agree to this. Let's take 2 phone calls, 2 people calling in. What do you think?
Yes, sure. And folks, let me remind you about the position on the roof. So if what gravity is going to push the nose down first, right? Because the heaviest weight is the engine, right? So it's going to go down. Now, once that front end hits that base of the lake, okay, the center of gravity, depending on the angle of impact, the center of gravity will determine which way it falls. And in this case, it appears to have fallen on its roof.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Kudos to everybody for chiming in with the ones and twos, and I respect everybody's opinion and feelings. So let's take a listen to this. He goes over this really well. I'll fast forward it to the more important points, but as you can see, he's marked it with this red dot in the middle. That's the car.
Orientation of Kiely's car as it went through its recovery. Today we're going to look at the orientation of Kiely's car as it went through its recovery. We're also going to take a look at the windows, the condition of them previous to the recovery and after the recovery. So let's start off with the orientation. First off, we're going to look at AWP's video here, and we're going to notice that the car is here and it is perpendicular to the shoreline. The front of the car, which you will be able to plainly see later, is facing this way.
Out.
So that means that this car is upside down. This is going to be the driver's door. This is going to be the passenger door. This is going to be the back of the car. Okay. Some of this will be more clear later. Let's move on to the other video. This is a video from KCRA. I will put links to both of these in the description box. We're going to go ahead and skip to 3911 if you'd like to look at it. That is here. This is the first camera shot. You can't really see much. That car is under this buoy right here.
Is there an oil slick there, Ed? Does that look like? No.
Well, it's a discoloration in the
Skip ahead.
in the water. Usually, it's based on
Or so.
based on the
You're going to start being able to see the car being manipulated by
the water's depth.
Yeah. Yeah, we see it better from that shot.
A little bit. The diver's down there. He's made his final check. The car's about to start flipping. A wheel here. This is going to be the passenger side that's sticking up. So the driver's side is on the bottom of the lake right now, and one of the windows is getting crushed out, by the way. And we'll let this go, and you'll see it flip. Give it a second.
You can see it now. I can see the wheels on the side.
Speed this up a little bit.
Well, they're flipping it now.
Yeah, you can see it.
Yeah.
Plainly on the side, and there's the flip.
Mm-hmm.
Draw some lines on here. Car is facing approximately like this. This is the shoreline. So they turned it a bit and flipped it.
This is when all the stuff falls out of it.
Now they're going to need to back it up out of there.
This guy did a great job with this. You see the divers in the water.
I think they're going to turn it. You can see the car kind of turning right here. Let me back that up just a little bit.
There it is.
Here you can see that the car's turned quite a bit off, maybe 70 degrees off of perpendicular to the shore.
Almost 90.
Watch this and speed it up.
Yeah.
You can see the car actually turning. There's tension on that line, and that car's turning right now.
Right. And it's going to, as it's turning like that, its wheels are going to kick up the soot and the silt on the bottom of the water.
Almost got it, and now they've got it straightened out. And then after that, they go ahead and they pull the car in. So again, if you can imagine that car underwater, this is the driver's window. You can plainly see that the driver's window is intact.
Do you see how on this, let me stop this. You see how it's like almost like sunken into the floor, the bed, the lake bed.
Yeah, you see the sand
Yeah.
come up to
Right.
the edge of the trim.
And now towards the front of the vehicle, which is facing this way, right? Where my cursor is, going this way is the front, right?
Let me look inside here.
Try to.
Now this is the driver's window.
Yes, because it's all the way up.
I believe the front is
This way.
up towards DutyRon.
Up this way?
Yeah. Let it play a little bit more, or go back a little bit.
Let's see. The driver's rear window. The driver's
You
rear
switched
window is
All right.
down.
I
halfway.
have to assume that the engine part, that where the engine is the heaviest part,
It's in the front.
Yeah, right. And that's where that was tilting towards. So
Right.
the front would have been down here, where this you can
Right.
see it's like kind of like burying down. Like,
And you can see
how-
kind of trim starts to curve down towards the hood.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this guy did a good job of depicting, how this vehicle was pulled out, how they turned it, and I mean, by watching this, Ed, I am confident that the video matches up. That the car went straight in with the headlights facing out towards the water, right? Ed, you saw that video?
Yes.
I mean, there's no disputing that the car went in backwards, or that it went in headlights first into that water. Let's take some calls. Listen,
I got a question here. Let's get the calls, but I have a question. So, Follow the Grain in Your Wood says, can you explain refraction to all those that wrote too? But we're talking about in physics a change in direction of a wave passing through different mediums at different speeds, and that's what refraction is. So, is that what you wanted to follow the grain in your own wood? I hope so. Okay, let's take some calls.
Yeah. And I'm going to look at anything else that I have. This is the recovery long video from the news. God, almost 2 hours long. Wow. I'm not going to play that. So I just put in the StreamYard link. You have to enable your camera. We have to see you. We have to know who you are. And if you're afraid to do that, then don't call in. We're going to take two calls, and then we're going to go forward. Let me see what else I got here. Adventures with Purpose.
Hey, Smitty. I got my bag, my hyperventilation bag.
Yeah, Schmitty's concerned about you. All right, Matt Bond is there. I don't see his camera. We're gonna have to wait till he enables it. So I personally can see him, and then when he does that, hey Matt. Okay, so give me the thumbs up when you're ready, brother. And then you could shut your camera if you want to. It's up to you. All right, so it's Matt Bond. He does leave a lot of comments and stuff. Matt, if you can, keep it pertaining to this video and what we're talking about here. So Matt, thank you for joining Crime Time with DutyRon and Ed Wallace.
G'day from Australia first. So
Hey, g'day.
it's 1 a.m. here, hence the reason why I don't have my camera on.
Okay, would it be appropriate for me to say put another prawn on the Barbie, or am I off base when I say that?
It's trim.
Hey, Matt.
Yeah, mate.
We're getting a lot of echo from you. So if you're listening to our live, you need to shut that.
I've shut
sound.
that.
There you go.
Go ahead.
Now you sound great. No.
Okay,
echo.
cool. Yeah, I didn't have that on, so I think I had the echo filter or something on. So
No, I had the other device, the other media going. I shut it down. Go ahead, Matt. What's your question?
cool. You're spot on with how the car went in and ended up on its roof. I talked to Nick, who was the one that dove down on it daily, pretty much, and pretty much we've worked out that the engine's gone down, which has taken the weight. Because the windows were down, the cabin's filled up,
Right.
and the air in the tires added the buoyancy, which then caused it to flip.
Yeah, you can see the a little bit of the flip in the video from the Forestry Service as it kind of it's twisting from passenger side to driver's side as the lights go down. and you know,
Yeah.
and so then
But
it goes down, it hits nose first, and then the back falls down towards the shore.
yes, definitely. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why there's the questions about the window and that the passenger window, whether it was up, down, smashed, or whatever, it was Nick's first dive. He had no, he was in shock from his first find, and that he didn't know to look for that centimeter of window in the corner that they leave so that it doesn't get stuck down in the door.
Yeah.
And of course it was upside down, so he didn't know to look for that. So
And you know what, Matt? I
we
just
won't
want to
know.
just say, I want to say this, Matt. We had Nick and Doug, and I also spoke with Jared extensively. Did you just remove him, Ed, by mistake, or no?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay, maybe he did it. But anyways, just so Matt knows, we had Nick, Doug, and I spoke with Jared extensively on this.
Oh, he's back.
All right. So Matt, thanks for coming back. So we spoke with Nick. We had Doug on. We had them both on separately, and we spoke to Jared. So we're well aware of that. We know that it wasn't his first rodeo. It was his first recovery. He certified Doug to be a diver. So Nick is a master. Nick is a master diver. We spoke to him before and during the live, and then after the live. We exchanged phone numbers. So we've spoken extensively with these guys. So
tough guys.
Yeah, tough guys, but they're doing unbelievable. They're on to so many different things
They're
already.
brilliant.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get them out here for a holiday.
Oh, that would be phenomenal. That would be. What part of Australia you in again?
I'm in Cairns on the Great Barrier Reef, so exactly where scuba divers want to be.
Yeah.
So for American audience, translation for Aussie English to American English, holiday is vacation.
Yes. We also had our bug doctor. You want to talk about that, Ed? Ian Dodor from
Ian Dodor, yes, from Australia as well. He was on our show. I don't know if you caught that, Matt.
Yeah, I watch it all the time.
Yeah. Excellent. Hey, Matt, keep in touch with us. We'd love to.
Definitely.
Talk with you.
As for the sonar that they use, they used the down and side imaging to actually find the car, and then they used the live scan to focus in to make sure that they've got the detail that it is what it is.
So I was wrong about the side scanning
sonar. No. It appears you were.
No, you were spot on. They used all three. They used they used down imaging to see the depth of the water plus the height of the vehicle.
Okay.
Or whatever they're looking at. So whether it's a log or whatever, they'll use the side imaging 75 meters each side. And that will then let them spot whether they can see an object because it shows a picture in time. So what they've already passed over. And when they see something that they think could be a car, they'll then go back over it from different angles with the live scope. And that will then give them clear detail of what they're looking at and let them drop the magnet on to mark it.
Hey, Matt, do you have your own YouTube channel, or are you just a watcher?
I'm in the process of setting it up, but it's actually not going to be true crime or anything. It's a music channel, so yeah.
Oh, nice.
What do you do for a living, Matt?
I'm a music producer.
Oh, okay.
So, but I broke both my legs, so I've got enough time to sit and watch YouTube all day.
Oh well,
so that's how I know all this stuff now.
I hope you mend quickly, and
yes.
I guess you're going to have to go through.
Thanks, guys. I'll let you get on to the next lot. I thought I'll mention.
Matt, one other thing.
That's what they do with their sonar.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you. One other thing. What's your thoughts on the new video recovered off of the fire cam, the alert? California.
I actually haven't had a chance to see it yet, but I want to see it because over here I'm actually qualified to testify in court for the police when it comes to doctored photos, doctored video. I often if they're taking fingerprints off cars now, instead of actually lifting the prints, they will dust it and I will take the photos for them because I know how to get the exposure, get the detail without actually having to damage the print on the vehicle.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
well, that's protocol here in the United States. Before we do any lifts, we photo in place.
Yeah.
And using a. Oh, we lost them again. Oh no, we lost them. We use a raw
Nope.
format on our photography on our digital cameras, and so
Yeah.
we do, examination quality photographs. But then we we do that before we attempt to lift with tape, and because as you know. If sometimes you can damage the lift in the tape lift.
That's it, yeah. So, I was at a scene once doing photos for a newspaper, and the police were there trying to get the photos, couldn't get the lighting exposure and that right. So I went up, took the shots with my camera, and they're like, "Can you teach us how to do it?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, sure." And then they were like, "Well, why don't you just come and do it for us?"
Yeah.
So
yeah, good for you. Good for you. So they just they deputized you.
pretty much, yeah.
Sounds like
So
when they asked you to do work at a scene, they just deputized you.
Right. There you go. All right, listen, let us run because we got Patty Banks sitting in the waiting room.
Go,
Matt,
get to others, but I'll have a look at it and I'll let you know.
It was a pleasure, mate. Thank you so much for joining us, and I hope to hear or see, talking with you soon.
Cheers,
Absolutely.
mate.
Have a good one.
Cheers. All right,
Stick with your bait.
All right, there he goes, Matt Bond. So thank you for joining, Matt. Patty, as soon as you give me the heads up, I will add you, or Ed will add you into the stream.
All right.
You want to do it, or you want me to do it?
You should give us a thumbs up.
She did. She did.
All right, there you go.
Hi, Patty.
Hey, good morning, guys. Love you.
Love you too.
I'm not as smart as your last guess.
That's okay.
Oh, don't ever put yourself down like that.
Okay, well, I'm getting smarter because of you guys. And I've been following this off and on. Someone tried to answer this in the chat for me. Okay, so is there video footage of law enforcement going in the water?
I saw on the news some coverage of law enforcement in Prosser Lake.
But okay, nothing extensive.
No, it was just general coverage. Ultra Dark CEO says, I'm struggling to find any logic in the discrediting of the fire cam video. Care to share any thoughts on the rationale? Listen, there's always going to be folks who discredit or find fault in this cam. But listen, you can't make this stuff up. This is, for the most part, listen, it's public information. And again, as I said, this is it. This is the Greater Tahoe, California, Nevada. This is the view that picked up this. And it might not be this exact view, but this is camera view, Alder Hill. And there's a whole bunch of different sub views, as you can see. Look, all these drop downs, and it just goes on and on and on. It was within one of these drop downs. And as you can see, as I scroll through this thing, there is tons and tons of views that's available for fire-related tracking. So if any of these locations, like this one here, I'll go full screen with it. This isn't the one in question, but this is a view of Diamond Peak, Nevada. Okay, and as you saw when I showed up on the screen there was dozens and dozens of additional views, and that's where this information came from.
Yeah, go back to that map. Yeah, there it goes. Can you highlight the map on the right?
This one?
Yeah. Can you make that larger? Or
yeah.
Okay, so and expand that. So and the slide. There you go. So you see the one camera there. Go back. Yeah. Okay. So all of those little arrows are camera locations.
Yeah.
And the direction of the camera and their view. Okay. So it would seem that there may be a couple of more cameras that could have captured information.
Yeah.
I mean, again, the one that they captured was the Alder. I have it written down here. Where is it? Alder Hill. Yeah. So that's the one. That's the point of interest. I don't think that there's any others that give additional views on there. But at the end of the day, folks, I mean, I feel strongly about this footage, and this is something that should have been caught by 19,000 man hours of law enforcement work. It should have been caught by the multiple agencies that they touted. They touted that they had the feds, they had the state, they had California Highway Patrol, they threw the kitchen sink at this thing. Multiple news conferences, press conferences, specialized places to put your tips and videos in. This to me is devastating. Another devastating blow to law enforcement, and I say that from myself. Ed might not agree
One
with
more
me on.
question.
Please,
May I ask
Patty.
one more? Okay, so they have footage of LE law enforcement in the lake, but was it because they were in the wrong area of the lake?
We don't know exactly what portions of the lake they searched. I mean, there was some talk about them only going out like 25 feet from the shoreline or something like that, but I'm not sure. There were several divers in there in a row that were swimming around. Regardless, the bottom line, there was a boat out there too, and there was a side scanning sonar used by law enforcement. And in addition, they put in an underwater drone, a remote operating vehicle, basically a submersible, and they didn't find the vehicle.
Thank you. My head is spinning. Thank you, guys.
Patty, thank you.
Have a great weekend, Patty.
You too, dear. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, there she goes, Patty. Thank you, Patty Banks. Andrea, thank you for the super sticker from, it looks like the UK. I'm not sure where that one was
It's
from.
a pound.
Thank you for the pound. Ed knows the hang sang really well, so he works all the foreign currencies. And listen, in no way, shape, or form are we here accusing anybody of committing a crime, because we don't know. We don't have that evidence available to us. Only law enforcement knows. But Ed, this really hurts credibility. And we're going to listen to Captain Sam Brown now from Nevada County Sheriff's on the day after Adventures with Purpose recovers the vehicle. And let's hear what he had to say, because this is relevant to the times of what we're talking about right now. And then we'll wrap it up, Ed, because I know you got a contractor coming. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't share it the right way. Oh, sugar plums.
Every time I hear that guy's name, you know what I think of?
What?
Sam Brown belt.
The gun belts. Yes.
The gun belts, yeah.
Yeah. But, okay. Sharing this. I got to get Josh to help me make this back to where it used to be, because this is annoying me. All right, here we go. Let's listen to him. This is right after Sheriff Moon, who's behind him. She's also the coroner and the administrator. She puts him on to answer questions, because now reporters are asking questions. Let's hear what Captain Sam Brown, Nevada County Sheriff's, has to say.
I'm not exactly sure that an agency had reached out and requested from within our unified command, but as everybody's reading online and seeing all the information that was coming out, and we realized that there was an interest from Adventures with Purpose, we did link up that group with Sergeant Mike Powers with the Placer County.
Is it me, Ed, or do they all look really kind of
Tense.
flustered? Tense, flustered, tense.
Yes. There's two things in a person
Bueller.
that are
Bueller.
Okay.
Bueller.
It's over.
Okay. There's two things that a person cannot hide: comfort and discomfort. Okay. You can't hide those impressions in your face, despite your best effort. A psychopath can, some sociopaths can, but typically the average person, the telltale sign is comfort and discomfort, and they are clearly not comfortable.
Yeah, and you could see it so clear and evident. And Canadian Cookie says it's not you, DutyRon. Okay, let's let this play and let's listen to what these guys had to say, because this is quite relevant for the time.
Sheriff's Office, they had lots of communication as they were going to be traveling to this area, and then a lot of detailed information that was shared that wasn't necessarily out to the public yet, that hopefully was of assistance to helping them locate the area to go to.
You said the car was found in the area where you've been searching since the beginning.
what did AWP have that maybe you guys didn't have, or why was that missed in the initial search? Yeah, I think that's a great question. That's one that everybody's going to have, right? Is how did we not find it when we were searching? The lake was extensively searched with side sonar, with an ROV. We had divers, we had swimmers.
Ed, what's a ROV?
Remote operating vehicle. That's the submersible.
Right, that you talked about, right?
Yeah, it's basically an underwater drone.
So he goes over side scanning sonar, an ROV, and also divers. Let's hear him say it again.
We have that maybe you guys didn't have,
What did Adventures of Purpose have that you didn't have? And here's his answer.
or why was that missed in the initial search? Yeah, I think that's a great question. That's one that everybody's going to have, right? Is how did we not find it when we were searching? The lake was extensively searched with side sonar, with an ROV. We had divers, we had swimmers. I think that's part of what we're going to have to go back to do and debrief.
Is he referring to the civilian swimmers that are allowed to be? Remember that earlier press conference on 8/13? They were asked about how come there was leisure swimmers. Do you think he's including them in there?
I wouldn't think so unless they were part of the search operation. I don't think they deputize civilians to go out there and swim. I think he's talking about people with snorkels just swimming along the top, looking downward.
And they couldn't see 14 feet down.
And maybe they didn't, it doesn't appear that they were out 55 feet from the shoreline. I don't know. Maybe they didn't think the water, the car went that far away from the shore.
Yeah.
Guilty. Yeah. Okay. Hey, listen, right. I just want to highlight something and answer this out. The footage does not prove that it was Kiely's car. Look, folks, we work in limited universes. Okay. And if you do a statistical analysis here and you said to yourself, what are the odds that this camera on that date and that time associated with that last ping witness this vehicle going into the lake and it not being her car?
Yeah. Come on.
Okay. So, Occam's razor, keep it simple. The all things being equal, the simplest of explanations tends to be the truth.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the odds are astronomical that it's not her car. I believe it wholeheartedly that it is her car.
And I concur. I concur with that. That in fact unequivocally is her vehicle. All right. Let's let the rest of this play and we're going to wrap it up. I promise, Ed.
When peace officers are out in the field and volunteers and searchers, it doesn't mean that they're experts in the field, right? These are sometimes ancillary duties, and we're calling from other agencies to try to jump in. And tracking underwater is an extremely difficult thing to do. So I think part of our debrief on any of these situations is how do we figure out to improve our services, work on our resources and the way that we use them. A lot of this equipment is high-end, very expensive, and you really need to have a lot of practice and expertise. And I think that's where a group like Adventures with Purpose is able to focus and practice those skills and really hone them. And so we're appreciative that they were able to come out and locate it. I also don't want to take away, though, from anything from our volunteers, as well as law enforcement that have been out there. I mean, we literally had people swimming in the water looking down so that we didn't disturb the ground initially. My understanding is the vehicle was upside down. That also makes it more difficult. And if silt and things come up above, that can also make things difficult. So before I really...
That wasn't the case. Ed, what's the chances on November 1st, this sheriff depicted here, Utah Moon, Sheriff Moon.
In the background there, yeah.
From Nevada County Sheriffs. What's the chances of her acknowledging this fire cam video?
I think she there's no way she can't acknowledge it. All right. They wouldn't have given it to the FBI if they thought it was bogus.
Right. They have to talk about this.
Yeah, absolutely. Because
why isn't the news all over this?
Don't know.
I searched before we went live for news coverage.
No. Yeah. Maybe they haven't caught up to it yet. I don't understand why, because usually like the news agencies have people trolling.
Has anybody in the chat seen anything from it? I'd like to see. If you have, send me a message on DutyRon.com with a link to what news coverage is live on this. And I want to just say quickly, if you're not yet subscribed to Crime Time with DutyRon and Ed Wallace, please hit that subscribe button. Everybody hit the thumbs up. I'm going to be giving away 20 free memberships at the end of this. So the only thing you have to be is subscribe to the channel to become a chance to receive a free membership. You need to go and thumb up this video right now. And when you thumb it up and you subscribe, you're helping to send out the word, send the message out about these sensitive things that we're talking about. And again, Ed Wallace and I work hard to bring you clear and factual information from the police perspective. So please hit that subscribe button. It's a red little button. It's free to join. If you can become a member, consider becoming a member. It's always great to have you guys here. Sounding Six says they are embarrassed. I think they are.
That's the answer to your question, I guess. You know, I mean, with everything, all the bad media they got, and then all the YouTube backlash they got.
Yeah, this is a double YouTube whammy, Ed. They got their first whammy from Adventures with Purpose, coming into on their home court and finding her in 37 minutes or 33 minutes.
It's a triple YouTube whammy, because then we got we have finding the laptop computer and all the other stuff on the water.
Thank you, Ed. Holy shit. And you know what? Well, hold on a second.
Oh,
Hell no.
It's a trifecta of embarrassment. Now, thank you. This is why I have a partner. This is why I love this guy, Ed Wallace.
Well, you know, I got to apologize about the side scanning radar before, sonar before, because now I'm going to have to go and, do a, cleanup of my hard drive in my brain.
Don't sweat it, partner.
Get things back in order.
That's what we're both here for. I may be old and I forget things, and I sometimes get scatterbrained, but it is what it is. That's what makes a partnership. Aussie Mutzi, I like that. The Aussie Mutzi became a channel member. That's awesome. Matt Bond sent in a super chat. He was just on with us from Australia. Put another shrimp on the Barbie. I said prawn. He told me shrimp.
So it's to end. Yes. If the police ask a civilian to do some work for them at a crime scene, then they become deputized to do that work. And then they have to follow all the rules of evidence, such as, the warrants and things of that nature. So, yep.
Here's Matt Bond. He's sticking up for the police a little bit here, and I appreciate that, because we don't know diving. He said they shouldn't be embarrassed. They shouldn't be. A fresh car is hard to see. And then we did hear Doug and Nick talk about that, Ed, and also our harbor Sergeant Paul, right?
Just remember, too, when that car hit the bottom, all of that material that was on the bottom now gets into the water, and then it fell back on top of the vehicle. And, they were surprised with the amount of material that they found on the vehicle associated with it being submerged. I agree.
Again, we linked. We took 2 calls, and then we agreed to those 2 calls. Again, I'm going to wrap it up here, but I'm going to just put one more time in the chat, because I want to give away these 20 memberships. Let's just listen. This is just another 2 minutes of this question period, because they ask a couple of more questions I want people to hear. So let's let this play.
And say, hey, why we weren't able to do it. I also could say that we eliminated a lot of areas that we would still be searching if we didn't have all the great people out there, and that helped give them some guidance as well, I think. But clearly their expertise in diving and their equipment that they brought to the table assisted us, and we appreciate that.
Do they specifically have any specific technology that all of these 16 law enforcement agencies didn't have?
I'll have to debrief with them before I'd have the answer to that question. I believe we're going to try to do that today.
Adventures with a Purpose has referenced red tape a couple times, saying they don't have the red tape that maybe your assisting agencies have. What is that red tape, and why might it be easier for a private organization to do this?
I don't know exactly what we're talking about in regards to red tape. I think that from the very beginning, we never deterred anybody other than certain scenes that we closed off at times that became areas of interest and we wanted to protect for evidence. So I don't know that there was any red tape ever put on this. I mean, if you look at the amount of man hours that went into it, it was like over 15,000. And I know it's even higher than that now. I don't think there was ever red tape. There were maps created for civilians to be out. The boat ramp and the lake were never actually shut down, because the way we were looking at it is more eyes out there, the better off we're going to be for finding Kiely. And that was continually the goal. So I'm not sure that there was ever red tape. I think it comes down to lots of factors, and like I said, we're going to debrief and try to figure out how do we become better and do a better job at these types of operations.
Why did agencies believe it was an abduction at first?
Yeah, I think there was a lot of miscommunication. I don't know that it was ever labeled as an abduction. I think that you can never take that off the table, and so.
All right, this is enough for me. I would tell you right now, the bottom line here is, Ed, let me know when you're ready to come back. Oh, there he is. Okay. All right. Yeah, I took you off because I thought you were taking the call.
No, not in taking.
So, again, this is, I thought we were done talking about Kiely Rodni until November 1st. Honestly, I had no plans to, because there was really nothing that we could update anybody on. So that's the reason why we stopped speaking about Kiely Rodni. Ed, as those super chats come in, if you can handle them while I'm talking, that would be great. Ernesta, thank you for that $25 super chat. But my point is that this is something that we couldn't be quiet about, because this is major, major, major stuff. The fact that nobody picked up on this thing, and 2 months almost to the day, YouTube is now reporting, YouTube civilians are reporting on this video footage, is troubling in many, many senses. I mean, I don't know how to overemphasize how troubling to me that is. Yesterday, I was at my place of business. I was so troubled by it. I picked up the phone and called California Highway Patrol Truckee Division and got somebody on the phone and spoke to them.
And folks, just to let you know, California Highway Patrol has the vehicle, and we're doing the accident reconstruction.
Yeah, exactly. I'm opening up YouTube. Ed, if you could just talk for a second, I want to just send out a couple of memberships.
All righty. So if anybody else has any other questions, and yes, that was Scotland the Brave for those who asked.
As soon as the thumbs up gets to 1,000, I'm going to give away 20 free memberships. So we're at 858. We only got a short period to go. So everybody in the chat, you guys are over 1,000 here. Please, let's get that up to over 1,000. I want to have at least 70% of you guys hitting the thumbs up button. So go over to that little thumbs up, tickle it, hit it. It's up to the 870 right now. Let's get it to 1,000, and then I'll give 20 free memberships away. What do you got, Ed?
Well, several things. In the course of any of the criminal investigations we do in the cities here, especially those that are conducted on the street, we're always looking for video. We're looking for ATM videos. We're looking for security videos, anything in the vicinity of the crime or anything leading away or to the crime. We're trying to track the movements of the players. And that's one of the things the detectives do. You have to pound the pavement, walk around and look to see where the cameras are. And then you have to go shake a hand with a doorknob and go into the locations and find somebody that controls the cameras and see if they will assist you in letting you view images from their security cameras of the areas in question. And so you would think that, this is investigation 101, that would have been a part of the search for this area. Even though it is a rural area as opposed to a suburban area or a city area, if you will, urban area, you would think that, you would do some searching and find these cameras.
Yeah, I mean, that's the baffling part to me, is that, not even someone who is like a fire scanner buff, there's these people who listen to the scanner, right? I was guilty of that when I was a teenager. I used to listen to the police scanner. I don't know about you, Ed, but I would listen to police and fire in my community when I was a teenager. So there's some people who do this, that just put headphones on and monitor, like, all of the scanner stuff. There's people who monitor these cams. You can't tell me there's not a nature buff or somebody who is, Smokey the Bear, put your cigarette out. What was that PSA with Smokey the Bear?
Forest fires. Yeah.
Right. Right.
Only you can.
Yeah. So leave us a message down below in the comment section. Let us know what you think about the new footage. Let us know what you think. Is it authentic? Is it doctored up? I personally and Ed, we're on the same page. We don't feel it's doctored up. We feel that it is true, clear, and evident, and that everybody that is involved in this thing dropped the ball. This is a trifecta. You know, you have the police who missed her. You got Check It TV finding the stuff. You got Adventures with Purpose finding her, and now you have this footage that's out there. It's just unbelievable. Let's do it, Ed. You want to get a drum roll? Hold on a second.
Okay, hold on. I'll get one. You want a drum roll?
Congratulations. You guys did it. We got over 1,000 thumbs up. Keep the thumbs up going, Ed. As Ed checks the hang sang, I'm going.
No, I'm getting your sound effect.
Ed's getting the sound effect, so we have it going. Thank you for everyone hitting that thumbs up and tickling it. Let's do it. How many people want a free 1-month membership to Crime Time with DutyRon? We're going to gift out 20 of these things if my credit card goes through. Holy crap, that's $100, but I don't mind. It's about giving back to the community. I do this. I think I've gifted 500 of these things in the last 6 months. I'm having a blast with this because everybody that's here, there's so many who support us that want free memberships that can't afford it because they're on a budget. You know, making ends meet is what's important. You know, feeding your family and doing what you need to do. There he goes.
You ready?
There's Ed Wallace. Ready?
Okay, let's do it.
Let's do it. Hold on a second. 20 memberships going out. My credit card went through. It went through. That was good timing, Ed. It did it right as we did it. Everybody's in the chat saying, me, please, please, please. Let's see who gets it. I just sent out 20 of these bad boys. All right, let me stop the chat so I could read out the free ones. Who got it? Here it is. Lacey Fernot was gifted a membership. Kimberly Johnson. No, not Kimberly. Ice Princess. Who else? Peppermint Schmoka. That's great. I'm glad. Love Wins was gifted a membership. Debbie Duvendek was gifted a membership. Who else? Where else is it? Did I miss all of this? So many folks. We gave out 20 memberships. Weeza Bordeaux was gifted a membership. Shanna F was gifted a membership. Helene Girl 55 was gifted a membership by DutyRon and Ed. By the way, that's DutyRon and Ed gifting these memberships. Jane was gifted one. The Real Brenda was gifted a membership. Sassy Gal Beauty was gifted a membership. Who else? Mercy K. Grammy H. I'm getting them all. Wow, this is tough to find it. Julianne Berry was gifted a membership. Catherine Johnson was gifted a membership. I'm glad to see some of the people who really engage with us are getting them. Kay Mack was gifted a membership. Shortcake was gifted a membership, Ed. Who else did we gift? Nellie B. She always engages with us. Thank you. Yeah. She's in the comments all the time. Congratulations, Nellie. CJ Whaley was gifted a membership. Renee in North Carolina. She breaks my chops all the time. Renee, thank you.
Tar Heel.
Debbie Duvendek. I know that name too. Love Wins. Oh my God, that's our great friend. Love Wins. She got it. Peppermint Schmoka. Oh, this is awesome. I'm happy. I'm happy.
Very good. Very good. Congratulations, folks, all the winners.
Ice Princess. We got them all. 20 people. That is freaking awesome. We got 1.1K thumbs up on this live stream. We started 91 minutes ago, and we're going to end it on a high note. Hey, listen, for those of you who didn't win, subscribe to our community. Hit the subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. Who sent us a $50 super chat? Oh, my God. Is that Wilesy Pony?
Yes.
Did she do that? Where did it go?
I had put it up.
Oh, it's a super sticker. I missed it because I was reading the thing. She's awesome. She rides the horses, the ponies. She's got all kinds of horses at her location. My wife is an animal lover. She loves all animals, but she has videos on her channel where she shows her riding the pony. So thank you for that. I hope everybody has a good weekend. Don't dwell too much on this stuff. Don't dwell too much on it.
Before
Go
we
ahead,
go
Ed.
into our thanking and weekends and everything, just folks, what this video shows does not rule out whether this is foul play or just an accident. We don't know any of those aspects of the investigation. All it shows is the vehicle entering that lake at the date and time of the last ping from the phone. Okay, that's all it shows. Anything else other than that, oh, well, besides the fact that the roadside assistant guy is wrong, okay, but it doesn't answer any of those other questions that you may have, okay? So, don't get hung up on the minutia, right? Don't get down into the weeds. Stay above that. And again, hopefully we'll hear in November, right, Ron?
Yeah.
What the autopsy revealed, and what their investigation revealed. Now, whether or not you're going to be happy with that that's a different issue.
I agree. And you know what? Again, we do not have a crystal ball. Ed and I are watching what you're watching, but what a reasonable person would say is that is where the vehicle was recovered from. This is where that footage shows, unless by some really remote chance it was doctored up. And there's always going to be the naysayers. I'm not saying it was doctored up. I'm saying that there's people out there that still believe that this is not authentic, and you're entitled to your opinion. But again, we stand strong with do not go after the Kiely's alleged friends who were with her that night and bully them online and say that they're guilty and tell them that they should do this and they should do that. Keep your opinions to yourself, because if you don't have something nice to say, don't say it at all. We have again, online bullying is really a big problem. And if you don't agree with what even a live streamer is telling you, then just keep it to yourself. What do you gain by saying, F you, I think you suck, I think you're this, I think you're that? It doesn't do anything, man. It doesn't help to get to the to get to justice, to get to the end of it.
We here at DutyRon and Ed Wallace, we practice CPR, courtesy, professionalism, and respect. We can agree to disagree, but no reason to be hostile, no reason to bully anybody. I can't stand bullies. Okay.
Yeah. I
really can't stand bullies. And if it was up to me, I have a special place for them. Okay. Yeah. So let's just be respectful, folks, and have adult conversations.
Right. Telephone tough guys, internet warriors, keyboard warriors. They're some of the worst people that you can get around. And if you know someone who's doing that, do yourself a favor. Make a distance yourself from those people, because misery loves company. And those kind of people want to drag as many people into their bowl of feces, as I say. You don't want to swim in a bowl of feces and urine. And that's the toughest way I could say it. It's nasty, but doing that behavior is nasty. So
well, typically people who do that have a low self-esteem, and this is the only way they can make themselves feel good, is by being these keyboard warriors in anonymity. A lot of them never really give their real names, or they hide behind that fact.
Yeah. For those of you who are on board, leave Ed and I a comment down below. I said that I was going to gift out 10 more memberships, and we're going to do that right now because we got up to 1,500 thumbs up, I think. Hold on. Is it at 1,500? Can someone tell me? I can't see it because my purchase is blocking it. Hold on. Let me go back, and then we're going to go. Let me refresh this. And once we hit that 1,500 thumbs up, oh no, we're not. Oh, for crying out loud. All right. I'll do it anyways. Whatever. Yes. Stop the bullying. Truth Seeker says, all right, 10 more memberships. Who's ready?
Okay. You want to get the sound?
I'll wait. I was hoping to get it up to 1,500. So if those of you who are just joining in here, let's tickle that thumbs up button. Come on, guys. Let's push it out there. Let's get it up. Let's get those numbers up, and then I'll gift out 10 more memberships. That's another $50, Ed.
Let me know when you're ready.
Do you think my credit card's going to do it, Ed? Is it going to handle it?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
All right, here we go.
If not, I'll write you a check. Okay, ready?
All right, hold on, wait. I got to get it. Let me cue it up. I don't see that number changing for hold on, for sake. All right, here we go. Gift and memberships. Who wants it? Say in the chat. You got to give a thumbs up. You got to subscribe. Say it in the chat. You want to become a DutyRon channel member, and let's rock and roll it. Tony's putting an NYPD in the chat. All right, Ed, fire it up because I'm ready to buy. You ready? There it is. That was pretty good timing. It wasn't as good as the first one. I did it. 10 memberships. I love it. I love it. We're having fun here at the same time talking about something really, really sensitive. All right, raise your hand and say after me, I want a free membership. All right, here they go right there. Sarah Wilson was gifted a membership. Always see her in the comment section. Thank you. Jersey Girl is here as well.
Jersey, what exit?
Jersey, exit 7A on the Turnpike. Great adventure.
Okay.
Who else? Who else got a membership? Where did they go, for crying out loud? I want to call them out. There's 10 of them. Ed, you're not helping me here.
I can't see them.
Misty Street, thank you for becoming a bronze member. Where the hell did they go? Ed, all right, here they are. I got them. God, this chat's moving so fast. All right, Myrtle Burke was gifted a membership. Myrtle Burke, congratulations. Travelin' Teresa was gifted a membership. I want to be a Duty Run channel member, says Hilly Johnson. Let's see. Mama True Crime was gifted a membership by Duty Ron and Ed. Rosie B, I know that name all the time in the chat, in the comment section. Lori Harrington. Roxy Dietzel was gifted a membership. There's a couple more. Mystery Maven is here. She's already a member. Sarah Wilson gifted a membership. Who else? A lot of people want to become. Kelly E was gifted a membership. Misty Street became a member. Thank you for purchasing a membership. Appreciate that. And I'm hoping that half of these people that we gift the memberships to, maybe half of them, will continue to stay members, Ed. And that's the end result. Yeah. Hour and 46. What the hell are we doing, Ed? Let's get out of here.
Well, it's coming to pattern now. Okay.
I know. I'm sorry.
I just have to say one thing though. There's a new person that out here in our chat that I haven't seen. She's relatively new, but okay. her name is the exact name of somebody I dated in high school.
Is it her?
No, it's not her. The photograph is not her. What's her name? Candy Smith.
Candy, we'd like some feedback on Ed Wallace's romance in high school. Please.
No, that's not her. It's not her.
I love it, Ed. I love it, Ed. All right, listen, again, as I always like to end all of these live streams, God bless the world. God bless the United States of America. And God bless each and every one of us here in the chat, but especially all victims of crime and their families. We send Kiely Rodni's mom and dad and all sides of her family strength, prayers, and positive vibes. There's new developing information on the Dylan Rounds search. Heavy D Sparks went out there. They did a search for Dylan Rounds, and then they probably are continuing with EquiSearch's drone that we helped to raise funds for, that they purchased, specialized drone, and they matched the reward money. So now instead of $100,000 for the answers and recovery of Dylan Rounds, it's $200,000. Heavy D Sparks put up $100,000 more in the reward money, and that is significant, and I give thanks and praise to them. Ed, what do you got to say?
Wow, just wow. I mean, that's awesome. He's doing well and he can afford it. God bless him. And all the work he does. I mean, he has all these helicopters and maintenance and fuel charges and all of that he's incurring when he does his work. So he deserves our thanks and praise.
Yeah, amazing. All right, guys, we're going to end this thing and we're going to get out of here. I know, Ed, you got something to say. Mel Ace just became a member. A lot of new people are joining.
Welcome, Mel. Welcome, Mel.
Thank you, Mel.
All right.
A.
So, folks, as usual, stay safe, please. Be prepared and watch your six.
Amen to that, brother. I will talk to you guys soon. Ed Wallace and I are going to take part of the weekend off, barring any breaking news. So good night from New York City. We want to wish you guys a great weekend. And again, thank you for watching. Thank you to the replay viewers. Yeah, could you remove that, Ed, so I can get out of here? I can't do it without that removed.
I can't find it. Hold on.
No, just hit any comment and we'll go away.
All right, I will. All right, bang.
Thank you. And then get rid of that. Hit it again.
There
Thank you.
go.
All right. Thank you, Ed. A little bit of technical difficulties before we exit the show. Thank you to the replay viewers, the moderators, the friends, the chats, the super chats, the folks who became members, the folks who subscribed. We love the new subscribers and we love the replay viewers. You replay viewers are awesome. Hold on. Let me get the megaphone on. You replay viewers are awesome and we love you. Isn't that right, Ed?
Dum, dum.
Ed, I've never used that one, and that's a pretty cool. I have so much stuff on this machine. I can even talk like a robot, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to talk like a robot.
You know, when the Yankees win a baseball game at the end, what song do they play?
Oh, I'm not a Yankee fan, so I can't talk on that because
that's right.
my Mets
You're
got
the
slaughtered
other
last night.
team from New York. That's right.
Meet the Mets. Who are
Right.
great,
Well, they
Mets.
play Frank Sinatra's New York, New York. I wish we could,
If we played that here, it would get demonetized. So,
right. I wish we can get the rights to that song so we can play it at the end of our broadcast.
Hold on, Ed. We're not going to play that song, Ed. Because
Echo,
it's gonna
echo.
get us. Yeah.
I mean,
is it on
I could sing it, but then we'd end up getting demonetized too.
Yeah, don't sing it. Don't sing it. All right, let's end it on a high note. Peace and love from Ed Wallace and Crime Time with DutyRon. We will talk to you on the next one. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.